We've known Gilbert for a long time, and I swear to God, he probably knew Rich on a peripheral level, but he probably figured there'd be food there. That's why he went.
I would think so.
Oh, my goodness. You don't even think it was out of the kind.
Larry in Philadelphia, you're on the air. Go ahead, Larry.
Howard, don't you remember the story? Gilbert used to get rides from Richard Jeni. They hung out at comedy clubs.
So were you actually good friends with him?
No, I mean, we talked. We were kind of friends. I guess I didn't know him as well as...
Did he give you rides?
Sometimes I got rides from him. Sometimes he'd call me late at night.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you went.
So you could have probably intervened.
Yes.
When he would call you late at night, was there anything like...
Say, Gilbert, I think I'm going to kill myself.
No.
Anything like that? Like, hey, I get really down, I hate my life?
No, nothing. Nothing at all.
You were probably bitching about your life so much you couldn't get a word. All right, let's go.
I actually had one of those conversations with Richard, but I didn't know him. He just came up and started telling me how miserable he was.
Oh. Did he say pull the trigger?
No, he didn't say anything like that. He was just telling me that his life sucked.
Wow. I had no idea. Nick, you're on the air in Lake Tahoe.
Hey, Howard, how you doing this morning?
All right.
Hey, Gilbert, since now you're a loving father, do you plan to have more kids?
Yeah, what about that? Will you make a sibling for your daughter?
Oh, it's hard enough, the first one.
You don't want any more kids, do you?
Yeah, well, it's like, what, you mean when I'm 90?
No, like now.
Yeah.
Would you have another baby?
Yeah, I can't think of it now, no.
Yeah.
One more question, Howard. What kind of rent do you charge your kid?
Robin, what else is in the news?
Comedian Dave Chappelle was hospitalized for a short time. He checked into the hospital. Oh, my goodness. He checked into the hospital.
What, he do another 7-hour set?
Well, I don't know. I don't see him working all that much, but he's complaining of exhaustion. So he checked into the hospital over the weekend. Why don't you go home if you're tired?
Dave might be crazy.
You go to the hospital?
I don't know. Everyone's afraid to say it, but I think Dave might be crazy.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, what is this? All this exhaustion. He's carrying on. He could have made $50 million. I don't want it. I got a responsibility to black people and my image. I mean, shut up and make some money.
He was rushed to an emergency room of an unnamed hospital and remained there for 12 hours.
What do you think? Do you think he's okay? Do you know him at all?
No, but he seems like a pain in the ass more than anything else.
I mean, really, enough with the whining and complaining. I like Dave. I had him on the show. I always had him in, even before he got big. I've seen him perform. But for enough carrying on already.
And I think he's suffering as a black man. One of the examples was someone was looking at him when he was shopping in the store.
Right.
I mean, that's not exactly slavery. It's like, they look at me when I walk through a store. So it's like...
What else is in the news, Rob?
The 33-year-old returned home afterwards. Earlier reports suggested that Chappelle suffered a drug-related medical problem and went into rehab.
Oh.
However, his representatives claimed the comedian suffered from, quote, physical exhaustion.
Who invented exhaustion?
I don't know, but it's killing a lot of people.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey.
Everyone in our generation is exhausted.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Our parents never got exhausted.
Yeah, they fought World War II and were never tired.
And they were peppy.
Yes.
Yeah, those British people lived through, like, nights of blitzkriegs. They never complained about it.
They went through World War II, the Depression. They never got tired.
That's right.
Yeah, only here.
What else we got
Professional wrestler Chris Benoit. They released the results of his toxicology studies.
And he was hopped up on, what do you call that hormone? Testosterone. They said, you know how, like, when you're a teenage boy, and Gilbert, you probably don't were a teenage boy, but
you never had this happen.
He was born an adult. But the thing is, when you're a teenage boy, they say this testosterone, the male hormone, it's flowing through you. They talk about, his testosterone is raging. You know how you can fuck 500 times a day. They're saying he had 10 times the amount, perhaps, of testosterone in his system. Meaning, can you imagine what you're like as a young boy with all this testosterone?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine the rage that you would be in if it was 10 times. So this guy went berserk.
Well, you know what? You're speculating. I don't know that really was borne out. By the information released by the coroner.
Well, I read the article in about 3 seconds and skimmed over. You're getting a very half-assed view of what the real reality is.
No, I see people sensationalizing, but I actually heard the coroner's report.
He beat his family to death with a stick. I heard. Yeah, that was in the Daily News.
Yeah. But he did medicate his son before he killed him.
Well, Gilbert would do that. He's not a complete animal. Gilbert, you would at least give your son medication.
Exactly.
Yeah, he sedated him.
What am I?
Before he asphyxiated him.
You're an animal.
Oh, my goodness.
And then he got himself hopped up before he hung himself.
You got yourself hopped up. Oh,
Gilbert,
my goodness.
what would it sound like?
Maybe he did the same for his wife.
What would it sound like if Paul Lynde wiped out your family?
I'm doing it for your own good. Oh, my goodness. You'll suffer more with Gilbert as the father. Trust me, even this won't get in the paper.
What would it sound like if Paul Lynde forced George Takei to have sex with his mother?
George, listen to me, you chap bastard. No. I want you to have sex with Mom.
Okay, circle gets the square.
George,
Gilbert.
take some Viagra and have sex with your mother.
What? Cunt.
Oh.
Gilbert.
That's offensive. I'm sorry.
It really is.
You can apologize.
That was
Well, George is the one who said he'd fuck his mother.
No, I did not.
George.
I had a gun to my head, my arm was being twisted, and...
It was a hypothetical situation.
Yeah,
you had to save the
absolutely.
life of your parents.
Totally
And he
hypothetical.
immediately jumped and said, I'll fuck my mother.
I would take the bullet myself, but they said no.
Hey, George, you want to take
my
the
mother.
bullet yourself?
What?
I've got the gun on you. Who do you want to fuck, your mother or father?
I'll take the bullet. I'll take the bullet. And
I'll take George Takei.
The block.
You know what?
Have you ever played Hollywood Squares? Have you ever been on that show?
I sort of kind of went, while scanning. I
but you've never been on there.
I've never been on.
Oh, I thought you were on there.
No.
Gilbert was on there. He's making a reference to Hollywood Squares. All right, listen, thank you, Gilbert. You're very offensive. And George Takei,
You are offensive.
You're very offensive. Let's continue with Robin Quivers.
Oh, my.
Oh, my is right.
I just look at him sometimes. I say, he's enjoying himself.
You know, a lot of people would say about George that he's one funny motherfucker.
Oh, no.
Well, that kind of laughter is not funny.
No,
Isn't Gilbert's laugh somewhat maniacal?
It is.
Yes.
On the verge of insanity, I think.
Should we be doing an intervention on Gilbert?
I worry for his child. I really think we should take that child away from him.
I'm with you.
Why don't you report him? You know, you can call. And
Can I go outside and check on my guns?
Why don't you call Child Services?
You collect guns, too, do you?
Yes, and I take medication to sleep at night. Yeah. Other than that...
I need a 10-foot pole. I mean, stay away from me.
Wait a minute, Gilbert.
You know, George, you are one of the nicest people I've ever met. Honestly, I can say that.
Very sweet and very
And even
concerned,
you are repulsed by
I am.
Yeah.
Calling me a monster again. I like that.
Gilbert.
Gilbert sees it as kindness.
Did you get George's congratulatory note?
Oh, yes.
Did you get that?
Yes.
How nice was that?
That was nice.
Yeah, so say
How
thank
many
you.
did you get?
Thank you, George.
Well,
Thanks.
I kind of, if I could pull back that letter, I would now.
You're one considerate motherfucker.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I'm, you know.
Oh.
What would it sound like?
Would you spend some money on a stamp and send that back to me?
No.
He will not spend the money on anything.
Well, I'll send you a self-addressed return envelope. All right? See, there's the answer.
Okay.
All right, let's go back to the news. Come on, there's some serious things happening out there.
Yesterday, President Bush was trying
Where's
to
the laugh? President Bush.
President Bush was trying to convince the American people that we are better off since Howard.
All right, here's President... George, give the president a chance for 1 second. Let's hear what he says.
I think he's crazy. Bush is really insane.
These people have sworn allegiance to the very same man who ordered the